Nigeria Labour Congress has declared full support for the Academic Staff Union of Universities as it begins a 2-week warning strike, describing the action as justified and overdue. NLC President Joe Ajaero accused the federal government of neglecting public education through chronic underfunding and repeated failure to honor agreements reached with university workers. He said the government's decision to threaten lecturers with a no work, no pay policy instead of a dialogue misrepresents the situation, insisting the breach of contract lies with the state, not the scholars. Ajaero stressed that the crisis goes beyond an industrial dispute, warning that the neglect of public universities widens educational inequality between the elite and working class families. He declared that the struggle of ASUU is our struggle, urging the government to honor all agreements and end the cycle of strikes and disruption. The NLC warned that if the government fails to act within the 2-week window, the labor movement will mobilize its affiliates for a broader response. We are currently on strike in universities, and that is because, according to ASUU, they've made a demand for 16 years since 2009 that the federal government has refused to meet. What are your thoughts on this report?
Nigeria is the only country that education don't matter to the government. Why? Education cannot bring the kind of money they want.
But we always thought that, education is the future.
Before they used to say, the young shall grow. Today, the old refuse to die. So the young cannot grow. The young, we have been young, and we are now grown up. The old people are still ruling us till today. So when it comes to this ASUU thing, to an extent I blame them.
You blame ASUU?
Yes. Why? Because right from my days in the university, ASUU has been going on strike. They've gone for 2-year strike. They've gone for 1-year strike. They've gone for 6-month strike. Once they call them inside the house, give them small milk, it's over. They'll call off the strike.
Do you think that shows a broader reflection of what is going on? You think that's what's been happening for 16 years?
To me, I believe so. Why? Because they will go back to classes and say the students are suffering without getting their benefits. They will go discuss with the government, later go back to classroom saying they are feeling for the students. If you want to fight, fight. If you don't want to fight, don't even start it. Nigeria is a country that the government decide the pace of every business. Talking about NLC joining this strike, I laugh. The same NLC that will hold strike for 2-3 days, they'll call them inside. They'll come back and tell their people that we are going back to work without good explanation. They are just making themselves useful presently as if they are with ASUU. Once they call them, go and discuss. After the discussion, small thing gets to their pocket, it's over.
Why do you think this matter hasn't been fixed for this amount of years? Do you think that it's because the negotiations haven't been called forth in the way that... Do you think it's because the government doesn't have the money to meet the needs of ASUU or their demands for this 16 years? Or do you think, like you're saying, maybe they call a few people and they settle it out and it goes, the strike is being called off?
In Nigeria, unionism, it's one thing that it's very hard to work in this country. Why I sound like this, it's like the people ruling Nigeria today, they are not bigger than Nigeria.
Absolutely.
You understand? But one person can be holding 30 billion naira in his account. The people that the elites that are ruling Nigeria today, they are not up to 3,000. They are not up to 10,000. But they are suffering the millions of Nigerians today. That's what these unions are. ASUU have the people they pick to represents them.
There's always leadership
You
structure.
understand?
Mm.
At the end of the day, a common Nigerian politician will say, keep the dog hungry, and he will always return home. They'll leave them hungry. They'll mobilize, go for that strike. They'll call the people involved, call them inside, give them parcel. If you're being given $5,000, one person, no, give you $5,000, your life will just change. They believe that one now, we can go and tell them, go back and tell them that we'll see what we'll do.
Now, I mean, do you have facts to bridge this? Now, why we consider if you actually have facts? I did talk to a professor recently, and in talking to that professor, he mentioned to me that his salary structure, we were actually discussing the strike action, because earlier the strike action was proposed by professors in universities where they were complaining about their salary structure. And I asked, a professor that I know personally, and I said, how much do you earn as a professor? And he told me 500,000. Now that brings to bear the fact that Governor Imoeno did mention that his PAs earn a minimum of they earn at least 1 million naira each. Now, when you put it side by side, how long it takes to be a professor, how many papers you get to write, how many years you get to spend in the university, do you think that this, agreement or this coalition that the government should have with tertiary institutions, do you think this is the best time for us to bridge it and make them live better lives moving forward?
The politician that is there today passed through a lecturer.
Right.
The president that is there today passed through a lecturer. That's why I always use somebody like our former governor, FCT Minister Wike, as an example. He believes he's a lawyer.
Oh, he is a lawyer. It's not a matter of belief.
Yeah, he believes, and he's a lawyer. Let's say he's
Absolutely,
a lawyer.
he is.
And he believes there's no way a judge cannot live in his own house. I don't know if you get that. There's no way. He's a lawyer. Mm-hmm. There's no way a judge will be living in a rented apartment.
Right.
To him, it's not possible.
Right.
But judges are living in a rented apartment. Judges in this country, in these states, are living in rented apartments.
Oh, he's been doing a lot of work.
That's what I'm saying. That's what that I said I appreciate him for that.
Okay.
You understand? These are his set of people. Mm. He makes sure.
Right.
They are always comfortable.
Anywhere, anytime he gets a chance to do that.
Wherever he has the chance to do it,
right,
he makes sure they are comfortable. Two things might be involved, but I don't want to know what's involved. Okay. But the comfort of this set of people. Professor Sibanjo was a lecturer.
Oh, yes.
You understand? He was the vice president. If somebody will have to solicit for these people, it was supposed to be him. Hmm. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was a lecturer. What did he do for them? Nothing. He was collecting the same money these people are talking about then. Hmm. And he was complaining inside his mind. When he became president, he forgot everything. So if you weigh the options of these people, I will not say their costs. I will just say the professors and the lecturers in the universities have been forgotten.
Does that in any way show that as Nigerians we value education?
They're telling you plain that education is nothing. That's why today, if you have a child, you ask your child, what do you want to be in future? Your child open her mouth or his mouth and say, I want to be a teacher. You look at the child. Everything in this world is teacher. I was asking my little kids today, one said she wants to be a policewoman. Mm. I laughed. The other one said she wants to be a firefighter. I say in Nigeria, a firefighter in Nigeria. But it's their choice because they are small. So these lecturers, the government must have to do the best they can do for them. I wish the same FCT minister was a lecturer. I believe they would have been one of the best people to enjoy today, if not in every state, in Rivers State.